Okay, this video is for the beginning of Chapter 8 on business organization. So this is a new section in your binder or your notebook. All right, the beginning, all I wanted to talk about here is what a business organization is. So a business organization is a company that produces goods or services, usually in order to make a profit. Notice I said usually. Later on, we'll talk about those types of businesses that are not trying to make a profit, because there are some of those. The three main types of businesses are sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation. Now, I have these pie charts here that I actually borrowed from a previous textbook because I found them fascinating. Because notice that this one is looking at the different types of businesses and what's most prevalent. So, for example, sole proprietorships, they are the most prevalent with 74%. They're the most common, right? Which, if you think about it, that's kind of weird because corporations, there's only 18%, and corporations are everywhere. I mean, if you think about it, you drive by more corporations probably on the way to school than you do sole proprietorships, right? Well, kind of, but not really, because corporations are so big that they include so many different stores and different locations that it seems like there's more of them, but there's actually more sole proprietorships. So corporations, for example, if you want to talk about, all the Lowe's out there, think about all the Lowe's hardware stores and those home improvement stores. There's all these different locations all over, but they count as one corporation. Or even, for example, if you want to talk about restaurants, there is a company called Darden Industries. You probably have never heard of them. Well, Darden Industries actually owns all the Red Lobsters and Olive Gardens, and they have a whole bunch of other restaurants that it's in their group. They count as one corporation. So that kind of makes sense why there's actually more sole proprietorships in the United States than there are corporations. Because sole proprietorships, you're going to have one owner, and so that could be anywhere. And nowadays, it could be just a business online that you run out of your house. Now, the other pie chart shows you the proceeds and the profits that each type of business gets. So you'll notice that there's a large chunk of more so corporations. Corporations all overwhelmingly go and make the most money. Now, if you've actually taken a look at your types of businesses chart, you probably have noticed that there's one that's missing from these two pie charts that is on your types of businesses chart: franchise. Franchise is not on here because franchise is actually lumped in with corporations because the parent company is a franchise, and the parent company of a franchise is a corporation, which was what they kind of get lumped into. Okay, so your types of business chart you're going to look at and you're going to fill out. But there are some subtypes of corporations. And so since I got you here, I might as well give you some notes on subtypes of corporations. So the first subtype of corporation is what we call sub-S corporation. A sub-S corporation is pretty small corporation. It is a private company, a private corporation with the following characteristics. So keep in mind all the different characteristics of a corporation also, for the most part, fall under a sub-S as well, but these are some additions. So first of all, a sub-S corporation has limited liability. So limited liability means that the individual owners are not responsible for the debt of the business. The corporation exists separate from the owner. So that means that, for example, if a sub-S gets sued, then the corporation is going to pay out any fines or any damages that are awarded to the person that's suing them. The sub-S, the corporation, will have to pay for it, not the individual person that owns the corporation. The sub-S is really small. Like I said, it has less than 75 employees, so that's a big deal. They also have individual taxes. What that means is that when a sub-S goes and makes money and they make a profit, okay, all of that profit goes to the owners, whoever the owners are. By the way, the owners could be, one person, and it could be 15 people. You don't know. Okay, so the sub-S, the owners are going to collect the profits. They're going to share the profits, whoever is the owners. And then when they declare their earnings to the federal government, The profits will just become the owner's income. And so that's how they will pay taxes. You'll find when you look at regular corporations, what we call C Corps, those types of corporations, they will have double taxation, which you'll find out about later. They also cannot have non-US citizens own stock in sub-S corporations, only American citizens. And they have to have 100 shares or less. What that means is that at max, you can have 100 owners. Now, you could have 100 shares of this sub-S and you're just dividing it among 4 people, so each person gets 25 shares. Or, you could have 100 owners, which is unlikely because this is such a small corporation, but you could have 100 owners and everybody just has one share. Okay, the other subtype of corporation is what we call an LLC, a limited liability corporation. Now, a limited liability corporation, first of all, has limited liability. Shocking. Okay, so just like the sub-S corporation, that means that the owners of the corporation are not responsible for the debt of the business. So the corporation is responsible. So the corporation pays out. Okay, the corporation is separate legal identity. They also have individual taxes. So all of the profits for an LLC goes to the owners, and then the owners declare it to the federal government as their income, and that gets taxed that way. They don't have double taxation. They have an unlimited number of shareholders. So you can have, this is kind of like the medium size corporation. So if you want to think about it as sub-S is the smallest type of corporation, LLCs are kind of mid-size, and then the one on your chart is a C Corp, that's kind of large. Non-US citizens can own stock in an LLC, so that's a difference with a sub-S. And the other part about an LLC is that you need approval from all stockholders to sell your stock. What that means is that if you have somebody that's an owner that wants to get out and they don't want to be a business owner anymore, in order to get out, they have to go and get approval from everybody else that owns that business to sell to someone else. And they have to get approval on who they are selling to. So like I said, the sub-S is kind of the smallest type of corporation. The LLC is kind of a medium size. And the one on your chart is a C Corp. That's the large size. All right, that's it for now. I will talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.